guys, Second here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so to end up the little mini physical Piccolo world tour that we have been doing, we are taking him now into the Cell Max event. Now, this event is going to be interesting for physical Piccolo because it is one of the shorter events. So obviously we need to make sure that we are getting as many super attacks in with him as we possibly can. So on that vein, I think I'm going to miss a super with you on purpose, because STR and physical Cell Max don't really do that much damage. I'm going to not get the rainbow orbs with God Goku, so I'm just going to stall a little bit, right? Now, when it comes to showcasing units against Cell Max, of course we get the additional, I think it can be a relevant strategy, right? Because if you're somebody who still hasn't beaten the Cell Max event, and I know people who haven't, because it still is pretty hard, right? Certain units have gotten boosts, certain new units have come out, but that doesn't mean everyone is going to have those units in those teams, right? It's why I still showcase new units against Cell Max, because not only is it a very different and interesting event, it obviously gives people more ideas of units that they can use against them. So if you can build a team that can beat Cell Max, but it requires you to stall a little bit at the beginning, then that's just what you have to do. And when it comes to physical Piccolo, I wouldn't necessarily say that you have to do like a whole lot of stalling, but there's a couple of things that will come into play here. So first of all, we're bringing STR Carnival Goku. We want him to get as many hits in as possible. And then we have units like the LR Piccolo, who after one of the recent updates, I think it was when Piccolo and Gohan came out, was it when the Gammas? No, I think it was when Piccolo and Gohan came out, right? Because I think they introduced the category, didn't they? Superheroes units got a damage buff against Cell Max. So, say for example, turn 1 is LR Piccolo and Physical Piccolo. If you put Physical Piccolo in slot 2 and LR Piccolo in slot 1, maybe he's getting hit a few times first or something, he probably just one-shots the STR phase. And then that's your first turn with the Physical Piccolo where you get no stacks with him. So I think that is not really the way that you want to go. So I want to get some stacks here. What's our defense now? 378 after the super on the first turn. So if we do this and then get the actual support buff for Piccon, that puts us up to 421 before we get our first stack of the turn, depending on how many we get, of course. So Piccolo might be able to just finish him off here before he gets attacked. If he crits, he will, but I'm hoping we get an additional instead. There we go. There's that one from the passive. It's always disappointing when the passive additional doesn't convert into a super, because when you're an infinite stacker, wanting to stack as much as possible, every single one of those missed opportunities can be can come back to bite you. So let's do this. Again, we won't get too much key here for you. You're going to end up getting an 18 key super regardless, because when Piccolo hits, you're going to get an extra key. This God Goku creating too many rainbow orbs. I can't not get 2 rainbow orbs of him. So there is a possibility that we just one-shot this phase. Although, yeah, fortunately, this Piccolo not getting hit first, it means he's not exactly going ham on this turn. Because we could have quite easily one-turned this phase. So, and the one great thing about this team, well, I say one, there are many. But one of the great things about this team with Piccolo having the Scouter is a lot of the time when I'm showcasing these units against Cell Max, we get to the first turn of the tech phase and I don't have the unit that I'm showcasing on rotation. And even one turn against the tech Cell Max can be quite dangerous. Whereas on this team, not only are we going to have access to like the orange Piccolo transformation, so if we go into the first turn of the tech phase and we don't have physical Piccolo on rotation, we're going to have LR Piccolo on rotation instead, and I can use the giant form. Or one of the reasons why we've brought Piccon on the team, Piccon's still a very good unit for Cell Max because of his Ghost Usher ability. Now, one thing that I only just learned while recording this today, this is my second attempt at recording it. If you use Piccon's Ghost Usher to remove all the attacks, and then on the next rotation, you use the giant form, it messes with that mechanic that, you know, we've been talking about a lot in videos recently, where the giant form will cancel out the supers. Because I actually have, I don't know, I might post it somewhere, but I managed to get the giant form. Cell Max did both of his supers during the giant form, so then on the next rotation, by the way that the giant form thing should work, Cell Max should then not be able to super attack. So I put STR Carnival Goku in slot 1 because he would have been able to get all the final attacks to get his 10 hits, to get his Scouter and his active skill, and he was at a level of defense that he would be able to tank all the normal attacks for double digits. So it was like a perfect setup. It was like, cool, we'll put Carnival Goku in slot 1, let's get these extra hits, and then he immediately got super attacked in slot 1 for over 1 million damage. So it means, unfortunately, using the Ghost Usher with Pycon did actually mess up the giant form quote-unquote exploit. Like, it's not really an exploit because it's how the game works, right? But at the same time, it is kind of, I feel like it shouldn't work like that. Now, obviously, it's always been a question among the community how much Akatsuki knows or pays attention to, like, what the community talks about, right? Because it doesn't often seem like they ever do anything in direct response to what people are saying. But, like, you would think that they must have some kind of eye on what people talk about in the community. I don't know. Maybe they don't. But, like, they must be aware that this is a thing, right? Because, like, we've all been talking about it. I think someone discovered it when Orange Piccolo came out. I don't think it was before then, because we didn't really have any, like, sort of meta-relevant giant form units. I guess technically AGL sells Rage Mode. Do the Rage modes work the same way? I think they do, right? Because if it stops the turn counter, then in theory it works the same way. But I think people really only noticed it with the Orange Piccolo, because he was the first giant form character that people were using a lot, and actually using his giant form a lot. So you'd think they must be aware that it's in the game, and they haven't done anything to fix it. So, you know, you could argue that they haven't fixed it because they don't see it as an issue, and that's, like, you know, how it's supposed to work. Which, hey, that just makes giant forms actually really good. Like, you guys know, if you've been around the channel for a while, I've been doing this for a couple of years now, I've always complained that I think giant forms suck, because I'd rather just keep my rotation of my, like, Rainbow Link level 10 units that are dropping 10 million attack stats and tanking for double digits, rather than having a turn where I don't take any damage, but I do, like, 1 health bar off of the boss, right? Whereas now, we actually have this super useful utility where we're just completely cancelling out a super, or both supers in this case, whether it's Cell Max or Broly. If an enemy can double super, if they super twice during that giant form, then there you go, that's both their supers gone. And Cell Max did super twice in the first turn. So you may have noticed, if you've been paying attention on this rotation, that he hasn't super attacked me, and he won't either, because he can't. And then when we come out of the giant form, he still can't super me, because it's still the same turn. I don't actually know what turn we're on, turn 6. So when we come out of the giant form, it's still turn 6. And as far as the game is concerned, he's already supered twice on turn 6. Oh, come on. And so he's not going to super again. Piccolo, unfortunately, does a lot of extra damage because of the superheroes buff, as I said. So the giant form... This is why I'm always in two minds. I mentioned this in the Broly showcase that I put out earlier today as well. I'm always in two minds about using the Orange Piccolo transformation in these showcases for, like, Piccolo Jr. and now Physical Piccolo, because he can just do so much. And if you're playing to win, then, yeah, you just transform with Orange Piccolo and let him go ham. And, like, we could have potentially... I didn't really look at the orbs because I was looking for the minimum orbs possible. But we could have potentially got 18 key supers with him, all 9 attacks, because we have had 3 turns. Then he's getting all his additionals. Cell Max probably would be dead if I was actually going for those supers. But when I'm trying to showcase another unit, I obviously don't want Piccolo just going absolutely crazy. So, right, don't do another additional super. There we go. Alright, so now, because of the quote-unquote exploit, he now can't super attack. So, how do I get the minimum buffs with you? If I do this... I think he's still just going to kill him, isn't he? I don't know if I can actually even get out of this turn without him dying. I'm just hoping that a 12 key super from Piccolo here isn't too much. Because at least Carnival Goku only supports with defense. STR Piccolo, good as he is overall, he's not like a crazy damage dealer. But I mean, look at this. He's still doing 8 million attack with his 12 key super because he's just that good. Don't additional and don't crit. Right, well, he did an additional normal and it crit, but I guess we'll take that. I don't think Carnival Goku will kill him because he hasn't been like fully built up. Yeah, 6.5, type neutral, and he's only got what, Fierce, Battle, and Legendary Power active, so he shouldn't kill him here. Because that's the thing, right? Like I say, when I'm showcasing specific units, I want to see those units do their thing, but it's just kind of like the thing is, it is one of the reasons why Piccolo is so good is because you run him with LR Piccolo, who is so good. So if, like I say, if you're playing these events to win and not just to showcase physical Piccolo, then obviously you're going to take advantage of all of his abilities. So what I could do here is I will transform with you. So what are you up to now after all these stacks and everything? 514k. He gets 50% on super, and then obviously he has the 40% damage reduction as well. So I'll do this, basically avoid a super with God Goku, and then do this. So God Goku, we know, even though he will take quite a bit of damage in this first slot before supering, we didn't get the rainbow orbs, but we know he's not going to die. Like this super from Cell Max doesn't do 600k to God Goku. Does 340, but doesn't do 600k. And now, can physical Piccolo finish him off here? 6.5. I mean, fortunately, even if he doesn't finish him off, we know, because of physical Piccolo, that there isn't another super attack coming, like, in the second slot. So, jumps up to 7.3. He's got, like, a 40% chance to crit as well. So, I was going to say a crit would end it. But look at that. He just wants to show off and get the actual God RNG triple super turn. So yeah, I guess that's a good way to end it. So triple super turn from Transform Physical Piccolo. I feel like that's one of the better ways to use him, right? Using him as kind of like a finisher for his transformation. But depending on the turn, because of his scouter, you know where it's going to be. Sometimes it is beneficial to transform if your defense has reached a reasonable enough level, because then you're not only getting a tiny jump in defense, because his stats go up a little bit, but you also get 40% damage reduction. So yeah, there you go. So that is Piccolo on the team with LR Piccolo. We just no-itemed a Metal Cooler Core, Broly, and Cell Max because Scouters are just that good. And then when you combine that with infinite stacking defense, units like LR Piccolo, Piccon, we didn't even need to use the Ghost Usher. Now that we know that we can't use it if we're planning to use the Giant Form. But it would have been perfect if we'd come out of the Giant Form, and then on the turn after that, where Cell Max could super again, then you have the Piccon active. Because I think it's better to use Picon's Ghost Usher later, because then if for some reason the fight drags on longer than you expect, and Piccon ends up back on rotation, especially against Cell Max, that could be a death sentence. So using the Giant Transformation first, making sure the exploit doesn't get interfered with and you cancel out supers, then Piccon comes back on the next rotation and you Ghost Usher then, and then you just lock down these events. So very, very strong. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. I'm going to do some full Namekian team stuff with Piccolo as well, but this unit is just absolutely insane. Best EZA TUR on global, I think, for sure, at the moment. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.